And pull up my notes really quick. Okay, so I really wanted to do a training on, well, I changed the title to Creating Momentum 101 because I felt like that was more positive. But what I really wanted to talk about tonight was combating a slow season, right? I know you guys have heard Casey and I touch on this like a million different times. Oh, wait, is there a way to add contacts to your Zoom? I have no idea, but I would Google that. I'm not the person to ask. Um, so basically, we're in the slow season. We're in a slow season. It is okay to recognize that, to say that, to verbalize that. It is a slow season. I think it's really important when you're in a season like this to remember a few things. Number one, to know that this business is cyclical. Every busy season will be followed by a slow season. And during a slow season, it is inevitable that there will be another busy season. It's what you do during the slow season, though, that's really going to set the tone for that busy season. The busyness is going to come back, you guys. Like it's going to come back. It's inevitable. It is cyclical every single season. Just like when winter turns into spring and spring turns into summer, all of our seasons go that same way. But what you do in your slow season is going to determine what that busy season will look like for you. And so, really, when we're talking about creating momentum, right? Like, I want you to remember you might be doing all of the right things. If momentum is not just knocking down your door right now, it's not that you're doing anything wrong. And that's like one of the biggest things I wanted to talk about. It's not that you're doing anything wrong. Sometimes the slow season is just part of the cycle that we're in. Okay. So keep doing all of the things. So, here's a few things that you can be doing during a slow season to help either create momentum or to be prepared for the momentum. Number one, first and foremost, in every single aspect of this business needs to be self accountability. Okay. You have to look at yourself first. There's a lot of different trainings on this, right? Like some people talk about the 40-40-20, where you spend your first 40% of your day on yourself, the second 40% on the people who are here for your team, and the last 20 filling in the gaps. There's also people who just talk about like staying in phase one recruitment, whatever you want to call it. What it really is self accountability. Before doing anything else, you have to establish your daily commitments. A small restaurant owner that opens their business for 8 hours is still in the building for the full 8 hours, regardless of whether or not a customer comes walking through those doors. Shut my door. I'm on a training. Sorry. Sorry. So no matter whether a customer comes in and sits down and orders a meal, or they're standing at the hostess desk the whole day and nobody walks in, that small business owner is not closing their doors because they're like, gosh, I've been here for 3 hours and a customer hasn't come in yet. No, they're staying there the whole 8 hours that their open sign is on because they don't know when that next customer is going to come in, love the meal, and go tell all of their friends and bring them all back with them the next day. Okay. You are your own business owner. We don't have a brick and mortar, but you have to figure out how you can show up consistently through the slow season, even when you're not seeing all of those customers coming in, so that when they're ready to come, you are there. Okay. So, what are you doing each day? Okay, what are you doing each day? Bluntly, are you working? How many reach outs for your or biz messages are you doing? Are you talking to people about this business, right? Relationship building is great. We're going to talk a little bit about that too. But if you're not planting the seeds for your business, if you're not talking to people about your business, it's not going to be very fruitful. Are you sending messages every night before you go to sleep? Are you talking to people every day before you go to sleep? That's going to look different for everybody, right? I had a call today with one of my level ones, and she's newer in this business, and we were talking about the fact that she might only have 3 people that she's developed into a warm market to message. She's still going to message those 3 people, right? So maybe you're a person who has a huge warm network, and you could send messages all day long and never run out of people. Maybe you're someone who's pulling teeth to find 3 people to message. Wherever you fall on that scale, do it every day. Do it every single day. Are you getting social media content up daily? This is a part where I think really people struggle, especially when business starts to slow down. I feel like people kind of lose that creative fire a little bit because there's not necessarily anything new happening in their business. But if you stop talking about it, people are going to forget about it. That is just how it happens. Think about the people who go off of social media and then they come back and they're like, sorry, I've been MIA. And you're thinking like, I didn't even realize you were gone, right? It's not rude. That's just how social media works. If you're not talking about it, people are forgetting about it. So make sure that you're putting something up on social media every single day, an Instagram story, a post, a reel, a live video, right? Something that is going to be showing up on people's feeds because of the algorithm. Now, if this is something that you struggle with, we have an Instagram homework sheet underneath the files section of Q Mafia. So if you go on the Q Mafia Facebook page, there's an area that says files. Underneath files, there's an Instagram homework sheet. It gives you a daily task for content and daily messages to send to a previous day's content. Okay. I feel like it's a really easy way to keep yourself on track during a slow season to make sure you are at least doing the bare minimum. And it switches it up. Some days it's a business post, some days it's a reel, some days it's a story. The people that you're messaging is different each day, and it runs Monday through Saturday. So it's a really, really good schedule. You can download it, keep it as your lock screen or just in a wherever, print it out, but it'll keep you on track with making sure that you're regularly putting up social media content. I also want you to remember that if you're not putting up content like posts and reels, it's going to be very difficult for you to find new people. Because Instagram stories are wonderful, you guys. It's where I do a majority of like relationship building of people I reach out to, but you don't find new people through Instagram stories. So if you're not putting up the reels and the posts, being able to expand your market on social media is going to be really, really difficult. So just make sure you remember that. The posts on your wall, the reels on your wall, connected with good hashtags. We did a targeted hashtag training the other night, which is in the albums on Q Mafia. Making sure that you're using stuff like that so that you are expanding your warm network regularly. And then on top of doing the content, are you engaging with people? So again, earlier on this call, I was talking with the girl on my team, and we were talking about how social media is a two-part process. And a lot of times people go really heavy in one and they drop the ball in the other, or they go really heavy in one and they drop the ball in the other. But if you don't have these two pieces, it's going to be really difficult to successfully grow on social media. Part one is the content, putting up the things, the posts, the reels, the stories. But part two is the engagement, making sure that you are engaging with other people's profiles on Instagram. Instagram's algorithm and artificial intelligence, all the fancy dancy stuff, what it is ran off of is engagement. If you are putting up the most fire content that there ever dang was, but you're not engaging with anybody on social media, Instagram goes, well, this person isn't really social on social media. We're not going to show their stuff to many people, right? But if you're putting up even just okay content and you're engaging with a bunch of people and you're talking and you're messaging and you're commenting and you're sharing things, Instagram goes, wow, this person really brings a lot of value to our community. I'm going to show their stuff to more people. Okay, so you have to do both parts. We also have a file on the Q Mafia page for some really simple engagement steps. And I believe that there's a training video I did on that as well. So you can find that in the Q Mafia page. If you can't find it and you need help, let me know. I can send it to you. But it really just breaks down some simple steps for how to engage. Okay, so self-accountability. Are you sending messages every day? Are you doing the content? Are you doing the engagement? Okay. Now, the second thing is that during these slower seasons, right, sometimes all of a sudden it can feel like everybody's sleepy, right? You're like, I had this crazy momentous team in May, and now I'm like, yoo-hoo, big summer blowout, right? Like Frozen. Where did everybody go? Okay, that happens, you guys. Don't write anybody off. Okay, What's happening right now is the summer following a pandemic, the last month before everybody ends their summer vacation and goes back to school, the most hot, beautiful part of the whole year, or maybe not beautiful, but the hottest part of the year where everybody just wants to be at the lake all day. Okay. That's the reality of this. So, what I want you to do instead of getting really discouraged and writing people off or feeling like your business is over, I want you to break your team into two categories. Not physically, right? We're not separating people in chats or anything like that. But personally, I want you to identify the two categories of people within your team. Okay. Because this is where most people are going to fall. They're either going to be the people like you guys who are on this call tonight. They're here for it. They're running. They're gung ho. They know it's a slow season. They don't freaking care. They're here anyways. They're showing up to the things. Those are your runners. Okay. I want you to really identify those people and prioritize them. Whether that means you're putting them in a priority folder in your Telegram chats, or you're making a list of these people and going through each day and making sure that you're checking in with them, whatever it is, however you're going to prioritize them, prioritize them. Make sure that no matter what level they are, where they are in their organization, who added them, that you're showing up in their chats. Because if they're here to work during a slow season, they're a solid person on your team. And you want to give them the attention that they deserve so that when this season starts picking up again and we go into the fast season, they're here for it and their business is booming and you're right alongside them. Okay. Identify those people. The second category of people is the people who have maybe fallen off the face of the earth and you're like, yoo-hoo, big summer blowout. And they're like, I ain't interested in anything that you're doing right now. Okay. I don't want you to write these people off. In all honesty, they might come back. They also might not. Okay. So, what we're going to do for these people, we're also going to identify them. We're going to love on them and we're going to still give them attention. And here's why. We do not ever want people to feel like we're literally only invested in them when they're working. Okay. So if you can comment on their Instagram stuff, send them a message to ask them the tough question. Go to their chats and say, hey, I'm recognizing that maybe you're not as active in here as you were. I just wanted to ask the tough question. Is this still something that you're wanting to do? Are you still wanting to do this? I want to make sure that I'm there to help you if you're here for it. If it's not for you, though, that's also okay. But can you kind of let me know where you're at? Right? That's a hard conversation to have because they might tell you they're quitting. Honestly, they might be like, you know what, this just isn't for me. But if you don't ask, you're going to be running yourself rampant trying to drag a bunch of dead weight to the finish line, and it's going to slow you down. So you need to be able to ask the hard question and identify, do they just need some time because it's summer and come September, they're going to be back here and working again? If so, be like, you know what, I'm here for it when you're here for it. And check in on them every once in a while, right? Comment on their stuff. Make them feel like you are excited for them to come back and work this business when they're ready for it. But for now, you're going to pour your attention into the people who are here for it. Okay. So make those categories mentally on a list, in a Telegram chat folder, whatever you need to do, but separate those people so that you know who to pour your time and hard work and effort into. And then lastly, for the people who aren't here for it, I want to make sure that you're getting them plugged in. Get them plugged in, you guys. We have really great chats for the people who are working right now. If you haven't noticed, we've been pulling trainings out of our butt left and stinking right for you guys because we want to make sure you guys know like we're here for it too. So make sure that you are holding yourself accountable equally the same way as these other people. Get them on these trainings. Get them in our book club, shameless plug, but it starts August 1st. Get them in all of our chats. Be inviting them to our op calls, right? Like have them plugged in. I have no shame in dropping 75 reminders for different trainings that are happening in every single team chat I'm in, one after another, because I want as many of you guys here as possible. Be that upline for that person. Okay. The people who have checked out, we already went over this, ask the hard questions. And then number 4, fine tune your skills in this season. Okay. One of my favorite, and it's like so redundant. I know you guys have all heard it, but one of my favorite visuals, and I'm thinking of a word that I can't say right now. We're just going to go with visuals because I can't think of the other word, that people use for the slow season is gardening. right? Gardening is not something that goes from 0 to 100. I'm not a gardener. Don't ask me any questions about actual gardening. This is all in theory. But people who garden, when they're planting seeds, there's a whole lot of stinking time between when they plant the seed and when they get the harvest. Okay, a lot. There's a lot that happens between them planting the seed and getting the harvest. I've never personally gotten a harvest from planting a seed like that in real life. But when you're talking about the time between planting your business seed and getting the harvest, it's your time to fine tune your skills. You guys, put in a drip line, figure out how to use the fertilizer, identify your different species of plants. I don't know. You guys need to fine tune your skills. Take the time to do that, because when the harvest comes and everything's ready to get pulled off and you have all these things popping up in your garden, you're not gonna have the time to pour into all of these trainings and skill building. You're not going to, because everything's going to be going boom, 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 people joining, people promoting, people doing this, convention happening, right? Use the slow season. I know for us, it feels like, oh, it's lasting forever, but it's actually a really great time to join a book club, get on a training, join a training outside of Q. There's actually a lot of different people who host really, really fabulous trainings in the network marketing field that have nothing to do with Q. They're all over your social media ads. I know it. Join one, pay for one. It's a business write-off, you guys. Make sure that you read a book independently. If you don't want to join our book club, get your own book. There's so many. Erin DeCure is like queen of self-development books, by the way. So if you need a recommendation, I'm sure she has 5. Ask your coach to get on a call with you, you guys. Get on a Zoom call and be like, hey, here's what I'm trying to do. This is what I need to work on. Can I have tips? Can you help me in this way? We love that. All of your uplines, that's showing us like how much you're here for it. Ask for that and make sure that you're utilizing all of the trainings. This is your season to really fine tune so that when our harvest is ready, we're like the best we ever were. Lastly, I don't want you guys to stop planting the seeds. We can get really busy. We can make ourselves busy with trainings and all of these things, and they're all great. But if you aren't continuing to plant the seeds with talking to the people, you're not going to have the big harvest, because you're not going to have anything that is ready to harvest. You didn't plant anything. So make sure that you're going and talking to people. The people you're talking to now are going to be your big harvest people in 90 days. That's just how it happens. And if you don't ask them now, even in the middle of their busy summer season, someone else is going to. And then when they are ready, they're going to join with that person. So send the messages. And when people say, oh, I'm just really busy, it's summer, my kids are going back to school, I'm going to Disneyland, it's vacation, I have this, I'm moving, blah, 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 that and the other, you're like, okay, no worries. Can I touch base with you in August? Can I talk to you in September? Can I follow up with you in 4 weeks from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, and see if it's a better time? And you're going to be the person who planted the seed first. And then when we're following up, when things are starting to slow down socially wise and pick up business wise, you're going to have all of those seeds ready to harvest. So keep planting the seeds. Every time that you're feeling discouraged, send a reach out, talk to people, make sure that you're getting the word out. I totally didn't type words here. You don't want weeds, basically. You don't want to go into harvest season with a garden bed full of weeds. You want to have a garden bed full of fruit, you guys, and that comes from doing the work during the slow season. So that's what I have for you guys tonight. I know how discouraging slow seasons can be like this, and I just want to make sure you guys know, I promise a busy season's coming. If I've learned anything in doing this for as many years as I've had, it's that I watch even myself go, man, is it all over? Was that it? Was that the peak of my business? Is it all going downhill from here? Right? Like, I feel like that's what entrepreneur business owners do. We panic. We're like, oh my gosh, everything blew up and now it's all fizzling. It's okay if you don't re-rank. It's okay. It's part of this business. Anybody who you talk to that is in the top ranks of a company making 6 figures plus a year, every single one of them has had their business go backwards at some point. you guys, every single one of them. And it's probably happened multiple times, maybe even multiple times in a year where they've gone backwards and then they've made a lot of progress. Then they've gone a little bit backwards and then they've made a lot of progress. There is no perfect business. So please don't make yourself feel like it's the end of the world if you don't re-rank this month, or if your volume's a little less than last month. My volume's a little less than that last month. It's okay. We're going to push through the slow season. We're going to have another busy season, and it's going to bring our volume to numbers we ain't ever seen before. Okay. So keep pushing. Don't get discouraged. Be the person who shows up during the slow season and create the largest harvest that we have ever seen in this industry, because that is what's coming when we have convention in September. Things that network marketing has never seen before are going to happen in Q Sciences, and all of you guys showing up for these trainings, you're going to be the ones who have it just explode your business. I'm so excited for it all. I recorded this. I will upload it in Q Mafia, and I will see you guys soon. Have a great night.